time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
What's up, y'all? I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always. We getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, all you super chatters, man. Get ready, because we're going to be doing it today. Coming off a huge weekend and moving into a huge week. I mean, No Mercy was off the chain. Denver, Colorado, stand up for Denver, Colorado, because, man, the fans, man, I don't know. It felt like 20 years since we've been in Denver, Colorado for me, because they love me. They love me in Denver. Huge pop, man. But how you feel, dog? How you feel?
I'm feeling good, BT. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good. I'm glad that No Mercy was a success. Bash in Berlin was a success as well. You know, and for us, we have some big successes on the horizon. We have Gold Rush Reality Wrestling going down September 14th, which is a guaranteed sellout hanging from the rafters. And we also have the Sherry Martel Classic coming up at the end of the month, the last Sunday of the month. So you definitely want to go to realitywrestling.com and get your tickets and book. We do have cause to celebrate because a collaborator of yours and a friend of Reality Wrestling, Mattress Mac, is back home, I saw, and out of the hospital. You spent some time there over the last several days, and it looks like Mac is on the mend. So we're thankful to hear that, all of us in Houston.
Thank God, man. Seriously, man. It's hell getting older, man. It's hell getting older.
They say, man.
I'm serious. You got to just stay on top of your game. But Mac seemed, even though, you know, he was down for a second, it still seemed like he was on top of his game because he checked himself in.
Yeah, that's how you know you're good.
When you do that right there, you say, okay, I'm at least I know what's happening. You know what I mean? So it's one of those type of deals. Seriously.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I'm taking it upon myself to do this. You know what I mean? It's like you know, like the people who really want help, like maybe like they're going through like rehab or something like that. They're the ones who go seek it themselves. Right?
Yeah.
Not the ones who have to be forced in there. It doesn't really work.
Well, it's like me. You've heard me say it several times, man. As soon as you see me slipping, call Charmel. Tell him, look, take his ass out the game now. You know, bench him. You know, take his driver's license. You know, the keys and everything. I'm serious.
Man. Hey, Book, we actually have a tough conversation to have right now because I called Charmel earlier today.
Well, you would.
I said, Charmel, Queen, did you hear him on NXT last night? Something is seriously wrong with this man. He needs our help.
I had a great time last night on NXT, man.
Stand up for greatness.
I had such a good time last night, man, on NXT, bro. I swear to God, working with Vic it's been a pleasure, man. Look, we're going on 3 years now, Vic and I.
That's crazy.
Right? We're going on 3 years. Can you believe that? I was only supposed to be there for 3 months.
I remember.
I was supposed to be in that chair for 3 months. And it's turned into, you know, a freaking ride, man. But I tell you, I swear, man, I get such a rush. I get such a rush out of being at that desk, watching those young guys go out there and do their thing. And man, Roxanne Perez and Miss Parker, Jada Parker, I must say, they went out and rocked it. And I was talking to Roxanne after. Actually, I didn't talk to her after. I got a chance to talk to her yesterday. And I was talking to her about that match. And I said, man, you have grown so much, man. You made me so proud. You have really taken your game to another level, because Jada Parker, she's only been in this thing for like a little over a year, okay? And as far as, you know, constant in-ring working, you know, trying to get some TV time, about a year. And for Roxanne Perez to go out there and take Jada Parker, in my estimations, to the best match that she's had on television, tells me a whole lot about Roxanne Perez. And that's the uncanniness that I talk about with Roxanne Perez. That's the win that you can feel, but you can't touch about Roxanne Perez, but you know it's there. That's stand up for greatness as far as rock. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about Roxanne Perez and how good she really is. From the outside looking in, you may not understand, but you sense, man, It's something about her. It's something about her. So Roxanne Perez, big props. Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, those guys went out there and they brought it. They brought it. It was a hell of a night. Trick Williams did a hell of a job. And the thing is, like Ernie Ladd said back in the day, just do that job, son, and do that job well. That's what Trick Williams did
Right.
in that matchup, as well as another match that was and a guy that's really stepping up to being that guy, and that's Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo. Both of those guys. Tony D'Angelo plays such a good character. You can get caught up in his character and not think about how good his work is. Dude is a good worker. He's a damn good worker. That's what I respect about that guy more than anything. And Obafemi being a guy that's come from this NIL system to have picked this game up the way he has. Old school, man, just old school. I'm gonna just go out here and get the job done. It's gonna be poetic. This whooping is gonna be very poetic. That's the way. You don't have to have a whole lot of moves in this business to actually get over. It just has to be a poetic beatdown. That's the way I've always looked at it. So for Obafemi to have picked it up, the ruler of NXT, man, awesome night in Denver, Colorado, bro. Big ups to stand up, Denver, because you guys did a hell of a job.
Okay, two things on that. Just two quick follow-ups. One, regarding the match you just talked about, Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo. Obafemi, he's what, a little more than a year-ish plus into being on the television roster.
Yep.
Handful of matches, because they're all on TV. There's not a lot of live events right now in NXT, so a handful of matches. You referred to him on commentary as the next big thing, right? Which was a moniker once used to describe Brock Lesnar during his rookie year in WWE. Do you see Obafemi as a Brock Lesnar level talent in the future to come? Is this a guy who we're going to be looking at world titles, main events of major PLEs?
Look, we haven't seen a guy come along since Bill Goldberg. That's the comparison I make with Obafemi. Obafemi's doing it differently, of course. He's actually getting some in-ring time. He's learning how to work, you know, because he's gonna have to know how to work once he gets to the main roster and have to work guys like Gunther, and guys like Art and certain guys. When he gets to the main roster, he's gonna have to know how to work. And that's the experience I think he's getting, opposed to what Goldberg did. Take nothing away from Goldberg. He had a hell of a career. But this guy's doing it to where he's going to be able to go out there and perform at a very high level and really bring fans into the ring from a totally different perspective than Goldberg did. I mentioned how Obafemi could work in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and there beyond. He's just that type of talent. He's a generational type talent. And like I say, he's picked it up. He's picked up the small things. And I'm not if you want to learn about the small things, guys, go to realityofwrestling.com. Just go to realityofwrestling.com and sign up. And we'll put you on game. But he knows exactly about the little things and how to maximize every second, turning those seconds into minutes. That's what I talk about when I talk to my students. So he's definitely one of a kind.
He's something special, man. I mean, that is a special person, and the NIL program has paid off in dividends. And then you mentioned the other one, Miss Parker and Roxanne Perez. Obviously, Roxanne is working at a very high level. A lot of people excited for that debut on CW to be her and Julia for the title. It's going to be something crazy. Good, but man. Talk about Miss Parker. What did you see out of her?
Man,
at, No Mercy.
No, she stepped up big time. She really did. One thing about this business, and I let my super chatters in on game just a little bit. You got to know how to be a good listener. You know what I mean? You got to know how to be a really good follower. If you could do that, if you could do those two things in professional wrestling, you could become a star, and you don't have to say nothing your whole career. And I say that because Sting, one of my good friends, Sting, Sting has always been a guy he was a better listener than he was, as far as taking control and leading that match. He could follow so good, and the thing is, when you can follow, man, you can look great, and letting someone else drive at the same time. So no, I think that's what Jada Parker brought to the table. Was she was a great listener. She followed very, very well. When she had the keys, she knew when she was driving. And when she was driving, brother, man, you had to almost force the keys back. That's the way I saw it. And it was a stellar match for two young talent in the ring at No Mercy, Denver, Colorado. Stand up. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Booker T here, and I'm so excited to share something that really has been a game changer lately for me, man. That's Fire. That's right, Fire. Summer might be winding down, but football season is just around the corner. But you don't have to let those summer vibes fade away. Fire has got you covered with the best hemp and cannabis product legally shipped right to your door in all 50 states. As an athlete, recovery is key, and Fire Relief Line is a perfect post-gym relaxation and eases those aches and pains. For years, for me, inside the square circle, they got the organic flower. It's top-notch, baby. Grown without harsh pesticides or chemicals, plus their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies. Premium indoor THCA flower, oh yes, and the soothing topical and calming drops are all made from the highest quality hemp source from the trusted American Farms, man. Oh yes. Hey man, I've personally been using Fire for a while now, and let me tell you, it has made a huge difference. Whether it's the calming drops that help me unwind, or the premium flower, man, that just hits the spot. Fire has something for everyone. Trusted by professional athletes and loved by over 500,000 customers. It's a brand that you need to check out. So if you're 21 or over, go to the link in our description and use the code, man, Booker, to get 15% off your order. That's right, 15% off. And remember to tell them Booker T sent you when you check out. Hey, support the show. I'm talking about the Hall of Fame, man. And take your recovery and relaxation to the next level with Fire. Check it out right now.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Just talking about No Mercy. It went down in Denver, Colorado. Premium live event, man. And talking about my girl Roxanne Perez, Miss Parker, went out there and did a hell of a job. Man, like I say, I'm living my best life right now. I really am. My boy Trick Williams. We can talk about that match.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. What's your real thoughts on Joe Hendry? Give me your real thoughts.
I liked the match with him and Adam Page. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And here's the thing with Joe. He found a way in two different organizations, TNA and NXT. He found a way to put himself in a premier spot in both organizations with just really finding a way to connect to the crowd that was more than what happened between the bell. He found a way to make a connection. And those people in Denver, Colorado, at least from the television audience book, those people wanted Joe Hendry to be the NXT champion. That's how it sounded from my vantage point. They were waiting. Every false finish, you could see him do one of those numbers. They were ready to hear and knew. So I think that's a huge win for Joe Hendry, even in a defeat.
Get a hell of a crossover appeal, just because. This is why I judge it. You talk about Joe Hendry getting a big pop on NXT, and then of course on TNA, he's the guy over there too. He's a popular guy over there. But it let me know that the guys that watch NXT, they're watching TNA to see Joe Hendry. That right there, that's something very, very special. To be able to pull that off. Like you say, a lot of it has nothing to do with his in-ring prowess or anything like that. Being able to connect with those fans is something that's traditional in this business. When you can connect with the fans, man, wrestling is truly, truly secondary. Even though you got to be a pretty good wrestler too, and I give Joe Hendry credit for that too. He's not a guy who, doesn't seem like he's hadn't laced up the boots, a few times. It seemed like he's been in the ring. He seemed like he can handle himself. He seemed like he knows what he's doing. So that part right there, secondary to him being a hell of a entertainer. I think more so than anything. And Ethan Page, like I say, with Ethan Page, I was looking at some of the comments, and people was talking about me when I said Ethan Page came into NXT and he filled a lot of holes that was missing. As far as guys going to the main roster and whatnot. And I think, some of the comments was, what guys went to the main roster? How many guys went to the main roster? They had guys there that they could have put the belt on instead of Ethan Page. And I say, of course, yeah, they could have. But would it have been as exciting as it is right now with Ethan Page coming in and shaking it up and putting it on an outsider opposed to just running with Trick Williams up until this point? You think Trick Williams will still be, like I say, I think the people will still be behind Trick, but I think Trick is better fighting up instead of, fighting down. That's just me. The babyface has always been better chasing opposed to being the champion, as well as padding your stats. You win it one time, you lose it, you win it again, you win it again. That's the way I like seeing myself moving up the ladder and putting myself in position to being, a major player. I could be wrong.
Well, what I like about Ethan Page is this. What I like most about Ethan Page, well, there's several things, but the first one is what I like about him is he's unlikable in this perspective. He goes out and plays his character in a way, or plays his role, let me say, in a way that doesn't make me, the smart, jaded wrestling fan, go, oh, he's so good at being bad. He makes me go, I hate this guy. Can somebody beat him already?
Yeah,
he knows how to literally kill him with a smile, as his music says. And he's very good at it. Now, I also enjoy the fact that he comes in from AEW, Ring of Honor, and they immediately put the title on him, because you're absolutely right. Nobody in this world would care about Batman if the Joker didn't exist. Do you know what I mean? You have to have, for Trick, you're only as good as the villain that you're chasing after or in battle with. So where the villain goes, so does the baby face. So when you have one that's doing great work like Ethan Page is, it only elevates Joe Hendry, and they help elevate each other, obviously, but it helps elevate Joe Hendry. It helps elevate Trick Williams. And I will say in that match, and you and I talked about it a few days ago, I loved the some of the finishes that they went into with the falsies. They were getting me. That's what's good about NXT, is the way that matches are put together. And I guess I don't want to go too far into it, but just the way matches are put together, it literally always has you wondering what's going to happen. Nothing's super obvious to me.
No, you know what? I agree with you 100%, just because I was just talking about that just a couple of days ago, as far as the way Sean and his team put together a show on a weekly basis, from the backstage vignettes, from the stuff that's going to be playing on the Tron, whatever, to the matches, the stories. Man, it really makes it feel like you're watching a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is different than, I think, any wrestling show that I've seen on television, perhaps ever. And I'm not just saying that. I'm really not just saying that. I sit back and I watch it and go, wow, man, this stuff is really, it's just like the stuff with Hank and Tank. I mean, it's so creative.
Yeah.
It's funny. And then, those guys, I wasn't a huge Hank Walker, Tank Ledger fan, in the beginning. I just wasn't. And I swear these guys have grown on me to where I go, man, these guys are getting really good. They are really getting good. And it's undeniable. You can see it right there before your very eyes. and then the way they are implemented on the show, it's wrestling. It's what wrestling has always been for me. So I just love, like I say, the contrast of NXT and the way it's produced.
Talk to me about the debut coming up on CW and Roxanne Perez versus Julia. When I said that match earlier in the last segment and talked about it, you got a smile on your face as if you're excited for these two to team up. Now, Julia is one of those people, again, like you talk about all the time. Name got there before she did. Yeah. When I heard rumors of NXT's about to sign Julia, I saw the internet go crazy, and it made me go, okay, obviously I'm missing something. I don't know something I should be knowing. And they're really excited for this matchup. You saw it at No Mercy. It continued on into NXT on Tuesday. What's your excitement level for Julia and Roxanne?
Well, it's all about being tested.
Right.
We're going to see exactly how good Julia really is on the first. We know how good Roxanne Perez is. Her confidence right now is through the roof. She's as good as, I've ever seen her, perform right now at this point in time. And that's what's scary. That's what's scary because I know she's got so much more learning to do. I know I'm serious. That's what I'm saying. I know her in-ring IQ is only going to go up from here. Her in-ring prowess is only just going to get better from this perspective. She works inside those parameters to where, she's, one step ahead all the time. So I don't know a whole lot about Julia. We're going to find out a whole lot about Julia if she can really go, if she can really hang with the prodigy. Because we know about Roxanne Perez. Now, no one expected Roxanne Perez to, rise through the ashes and be the one. No one saw that rose, rising up through the concrete, and blossoming right there in the middle of, I-45, a rose. You know what I mean? That's Roxanne Perez. No one saw that coming. Did I see it coming? I did. Just because from day one, Roxanne Perez at Fantasy Camp showed me how bad she wanted it. And then when she became a part of Reality of Wrestling, I was in awe of her talent and her work ethic. And then for her to make it to the next level so quick, to become ROH's first women's champion. That right there is a statement in itself. Breakout tournament winner, Iron Survivor, 2-time NXT Women's Champion. And it's so much more. She's got a Hall of Fame career already. If she retired today, she'd be going into the Hall of Fame.
That's big praise, Book. That's huge praise.
That's me. But we got to take another break. Stick around, man. You inside the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it
and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Enough said about Roxanne Perez. We've given her enough time, enough free air time.
No mas. Sorry, Roxanne. We're never talking about you again.
We wrapping up.
It's over. It's over for you.
But,
hey,
go ahead.
I wanted to ask, because, obviously that was the follow-up show on Sunday to the Saturday PLE, which was Bash in Berlin. Did you get to catch any of Bash in Berlin? I know you're probably traveling.
I didn't, man. I was traveling, man. I was on the road traveling, and I tell you, man, I've been traveling so much lately. I got to try to get my rest in between, but I got a chance to saw a little bit of the recap on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty solid show, including a great main event with Gunther and Randy Orton. But, should we expect anything less than a great main event between Gunther and Randy Orton? But a hot crowd. I didn't know this was the first PLE in Germany, and they were off the hook, like all these international crowds have been.
It's such a great move to do these PLEs in certain countries like that, because I remember Germany, man, was always the hot tour, bro. Always, man. Always the hot tour, bro. Always. The bar scene was always sweet. The fans were, following us. They would follow us like we were rock stars. They would go from one city to the next. They would be at the hotel before we got there. They'd be sleeping in the lobby. That type of stuff. I'm serious. No joke, man. And to be able to go over there and give those fans, a pay-per-view, a PLE, is so freaking awesome, because they've been waiting for it for many, many, many years. So I think that's one of the best moves that I think the merger with TKO has been overall, more than anything.
You know what? And the thing is this, you run these shows like in Germany. They did one in France, Puerto Rico last year, just to name a couple off the top of my head. Obviously the shows in Saudi, but mainly the other ones where they don't go to as often. Not only is it a hot crowd because it's a European crowd or what have you, but it's just hot because they don't get it as often as we do in the States. WWE's in Houston twice a year, at least, sometimes more. They've run pay-per-views here. They've done 2 WrestleManias here. They've never run a PLE in Germany. And I think, and I might be wrong, but I think that the crowd also in Germany goes, we got to really be a good crowd so they come back more. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's what it is, man. They're like that. Just at like I say, when we just do a tour,
right?
They're the same exact way. I used to love going to, Cologne, Germany. Awesome spot. I remember drinking a beer so big in Cologne one time and having so much fun and performing, and the crowd was just so freaking electric. Those were those times when my brother and I, we would, be, doing tag matches, and we would never win. We'd go over there, we would get beat every time, but it was so freaking fun getting that crowd like in a frenzy. It was the best times of my wrestling career, was those German tours. I swear to God, I think if I had to put any tours above all, it would be the Germany tours. Always great times. I got into trouble over there too, in Germany.
Is that the one? Never mind. Let me not blow up anybody's spot. I think I might know this story, but let me not say it. Let me not say any names for the benefit of those with memories. Let me ask you this, because there were great matches. Obviously, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair recaptured the women's tag team championship, so congratulations to them. CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre in the strap match, and I know I was talking some smack about strap matches, and I gotta say, as strap matches go, I was pretty entertained by this. This one was actually pretty good.
Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I got a chance to see the aftermath where CM Punk got the hell beat out of
Oh man. Well, I was gonna ask you
That was almost
like you and Lawler.
that was almost criminal. It was. That was almost criminal. He should have been arrested for that one. That was like me and Lawler. You know,
That's what I was thinking.
I should have been arrested for, hitting Lawler with the TV. That's just that one thing I should have been arrested for. But, but, but yeah, the same thing with Drew. It was beautiful. It was some beautiful work, man. Especially when he was trying to gouge his eyes out. That was the best part. That was the best part for me. It was so damn good, man.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling, Atlanta Bad Blood is around the corner, and I have a feeling we might see a Hell in a Cell match. But I almost wanted to know if you had anything to do with what Drew did. Because I don't know if you saw the CM Punk did a post-match promo with Kathy Kelly. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
So you don't know what he said?
No.
So he made reference to something, and I thought maybe you then called your boy Drew and had that beatdown happen.
I didn't. He referenced me?
Yes. Yeah. Would you like to see the promo?
Let me hear it.
Okay. So this is CM Punk. Let me pull this up. This is CM Punk post his win at Bash in Berlin. Kathy Kelly asked him what's next for him, and you'll hear what he said he wanted. And tell me if you think I think it's in reference to you.
Me and Drew McIntyre. What's next for me is I'm going to take a long hot shower. I'm going to try to find some donuts, and I got myself a main event to watch because I'm very interested in the results. Gunther versus Randy Orton, and some people like to say may the best man win, but in this case, may the best man win because the better man is coming for you. I want the gold. I'm coming for you, sucker.
Well, congratulations on tonight.
So I thought that was in reference to you, and I thought maybe you called
All right.
Drew and had that
Drew,
done.
Drew may have saw that as well, right?
Drew, I definitely saw it.
So maybe Drew. Look, it's a lot of history, man. It's a lot of history between myself, Drew McIntyre, as well as CM Punk. That's a locker room story been going around for a long time. I don't want to make reference to it right here because it's locker room stuff, and I never really like to talk about locker room stuff on the air. I leave that stuff, in the past. But Drew probably saw that, and he probably took offense to it and said, "Man, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something." And Drew McIntyre popped off. We saw what happened. It was beautiful work. It was beautiful work. And the thing is, leave me out of this. Leave me out of it. I mean, I'm trying to be unbiased. I'm a, analyst now. That's my job. That's my job. But I don't know why CM Punk did that. I don't know.
Well, because I remember
the thing is, I don't know why the internet didn't pick that up and blow it. Did the internet blow it up?
They didn't blow it up to the extent that they thought that they should have.
The thing is, if I say something about CM Punk, they blow it up. But he mentioned me, in
a reference.
Yeah. Nobody says nothing. But no. I have no beef with CM Punk. I have no beef with Drew McIntyre. Drew was a little hot at me the last time.
That's what I was going to bring up because the last time you saw Drew McIntyre, he was mad at you because CM Punk was there and you were kind of not taking sides.
No, I wasn't taking sides, and Drew was like, "Come on, bro. You know this guy. You know him. We've been there." I say, look, bro, that's in the past. And so, Drew's a little hot at me. But look here, I like Drew McIntyre. I have no ill will. I'm not going to say I like CM Punk or anything, but I have no ill will towards CM Punk. Okay? Not one iota. But whatever happens at the end of this thing, I'm going to tell you right now, I just want to be there to see it. Because after I'm going to tell you, just like I was listening to Wade Barrett talk, this is a different Drew McIntyre, man. I've never seen this side of Drew before.
Right.
This Drew right here is a guy he's a monster, man. You might want to just get out of his way. And this may be that one tree that CM Punk went barking up that he really didn't want to. I'm serious. This gonna be a very, very hard landing, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to take no sides.
Bad blood. Now, here's the thing. Let me ask you this: if you get the phone, bring, because you keep getting brought into this.
Yeah,
If you get the phone call from Hunter that says, "Look, Book, this is going to be a Hell in a Cell match. It's going to be CM Punk. It's going to be Drew, but we need somebody who could really
they need
officiate this thing.
an enforcer.
They need someone to enforce the rules. Would you? And we need you. We need the Booker man.
I'll be there in a heartbeat. I'll be there in a heartbeat. I'll be there in a heartbeat. I would love to officiate, a match like that, and really, call it right down the middle. Yeah, mano a mano. Yeah. That's the way I say it. And look here, I'm not gonna add anything else to it.
Okay.
I know if I add anything else to it, the internet may want to pick it up. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna leave it right there because we gotta take another break. Hey man, hey guys, you're inside the Hall of Fame. Super chatters, we're gonna get with you guys in a minute. You inside the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced pack with fresh produce and under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life. Forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Oh yes, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I don't know, man. Where you want to go, man? Do we want to hold our super chatters up a little bit longer or what?
Just a couple minutes. So if y'all have super chats to get in, definitely send them in. But we were talking about stuff that was going on last segment. But look, not even CM Punk specifically. But I did want to ask you this,
Okay.
because he had a reference to you in a promo he had. There was a time where Big E started using "Can you dig it, sucker?" There was like a few of these instances have happened over the last several years. Joe Hendry wants to make you the president of his fan club. Things like this. Why do you feel that people like to involve your name in things? What do you think that's about? Why do you think that Booker T, whether it be a small illusion like "We're coming for the gold" or a "Can you dig it, sucker?" or the Joe Hendry stuff, why do you feel that always seems to happen to you?
I don't know. You know what, man? I've been a fly on the wall for a long time in this business. I'm serious. I've seen a whole lot. It goes back to the Shockmaster, Sid Vicious, Vader. God rest both of those guys' soul, man.
Mm-hmm.
God, man, I just thought about that. I've seen so much, and for me, I don't know. It's just one of these things to where still trying to stay relevant. I work with these young guys. They keep me relevant. They respect the game that Booker T, put down for so many years too. Yeah, and I think that's what it is more than anything. I try to know how to stay young, fit in, but still not overshadow anybody or anything like that. I always want to make these guys stars, and I really think if these guys are listening to me, like doing the show, like right now, they got to respect that. They got to respect me understanding that this is their era. It's going to be up to how they leave it. If I can add a little bit of spice to it, great. Like the Trick Williams, whoop that trick. What? If we could add a little something to it, no bread, no water, just meat. I love it. And for me to see the love that these young guys give me, man, is awesome. It really is. It really truly is, So I think that's what it is more than anything. I think these guys they appreciate what I brought to the game, and I think not just patting myself on the back or anything like that. I think the rub from Booker T or an endorsement from Booker T, I think that's pretty damn good. I'm serious. Because I'm not going to endorse you if you're crap.
Right.
I'm not going to put you over if you're not good at what you do. That's just, me. You know me. That's just not going to happen. You got to be extraordinary. You got to be next level talent for me to put you over. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put you under if you're not next level talent. I'm going to help try to bring you up to next level talent. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, try to put you down or anything, but if you're not next level talent, I'm not going to say, hey, man, this is the guy, because that's my word. That's my rep. I can't do that. But if you're good at what you do and you get the rub from Booker T and get an endorsement, a cosign, I think that's pretty damn good.
I think that, yes, obviously I have seen a lot of people, I'll just say at reality wrestling, walk through the curtain looking for the approval. And if they didn't bring it that night, you're not giving them the approval.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And the thing is, I can't do that for you. That's something that you got to do. You got to be able to go out there and pull it off and come back and know you pulled it off when you walked through that curtain. If that doesn't happen, that's on you. It's not on me.
It's all on you, man. And so I was curious. I was just curious as to why you think that your name always seems to get thrown around.
It's the rub, man. It's the rub. It's the rub from Booker T. That's all it is.
It's the Booker T rub.
Page even talked to me about, perhaps being the president of his fan club.
Oh, really? Are you thinking of resigning your position with Joe Hendry?
I can work two.
Can you maintain both?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's money is money.
You can go both. You can do both. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So again, I think that, I mean, those are pretty much some of the big stories. Was there anything else out there that you wanted to cover before we got to?
Not really. But I was reading. Mark Henry was speaking out about his time in AEW, and I thought that was kind of noteworthy, just because we really never get a chance to see behind the curtain of AEW and how it's run or anything like that. Mark Henry, I know Mark Henry wanted to have more of a backstage role, more involvement with creative and trying to, really step into that realm, especially coming from the wrestling side and knowing so much and having that knowledge in your head. You want to get it out there. You don't want to just keep it in. I think that's the type of guy Mark is. And Mark, one of the quotes was, he, when you, dealing with your tool bag, you're looking to tighten things up. And in AEW, they didn't give him not even a screwdriver to tighten anything up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just, he was there for, name recognition pretty much alone, FaceTime recognition, on television alone, and never really got a chance to really exploit his strengths. And that was, his knowledge. And perhaps that might be one of the biggest things I've talked about with AEW, as far as there's no way you can pull it off by yourself. You got to have a good team around you. You know what I mean? Who's on that team? That's the question. I I don't know who's on Tony Khan's team or anything like that, but I do know you need a good team around you. And for Mark to have felt that way enough to say, man, let me abandon this ship because that's not going to happen. It speaks volume. It really does.
Yeah, I read some of what he had to say, and here's another quote that was interesting that I actually agree with, though. He said, because one of the co-hosts, I guess, there when he was doing this interview implied that there was a maturity issue with some of the talent in AEW. And Mark Henry said, yeah, you're wrong, because it's Tony's company and Tony gets to do whatever he wants to do. You can make all the suggestions in the world, but if he doesn't want to do that, he's not going to do that. The same thing is true with Triple H running WWE. He's the boss. But the difference is Triple H leans on the fact that he has brilliant minds around him, and he'll go, you know what? I think it would go better this way, but we're going to do it your way to see. And when it works, it's like, hey, man, good job. That was a good call. What do you think about that? Do you feel that Triple H, from what he's saying, will listen to people around him, may even disagree with them, but say, let's see if it works. And if it works, great. And if not, I'm going to have words with you after. Is that the better way to go? Or is it better to do it like Tony and say, this is my show. Whatever I want's going to happen. I don't care what you say.
No, I agree with the latter what you said there a second ago as far as Triple H. No, just because you got to have a good. I mean, it's like with us. I don't try to make all the decisions like that, right? I don't put a foot down and say, man, it's my way or the highway. If I did that, reality of wrestling would not be successful. It really wasn't. It really wouldn't. I mean, and I feel the same way with the company like Tony Khan is. If it's his way or the highway, it's only going to go so far. That's just the way I look at it. The numbers are only going to get so big. You got to have an open mind and be able to step outside the box and say, I like that idea a lot better than the idea that I was thinking. It's just that simple. But you have to have the wherewithal to be able to come together and be able to pull that kind of stuff off. We was talking about this last week when we talked about Ricochet going over to AEW, and I said Ricochet asked Tony Khan. Tony Khan said, he asked Tony Khan, what do you want from me out there tonight? And Tony Khan said, what do you want to do? So he just go out there and do whatever he wants to do without even thinking about, what the boss wants, because the boss wants to see what you want to give, because I've been waiting to see this for a long time as a fan. And you can never look at the talent from a fan perspective. That's just, you just can't do it. It's always got to be from a business, a general perspective. How are we going to structure this thing to maximize this next year with you and make you the biggest star we possibly can. I don't care about the match. I want to see how we can make you the biggest star we possibly can over this next year. It's no way I could possibly be thinking about how to do that with just you when I got 100 more guys to think about. That's why I need other guys. That's why I need a staff. That's why I need people to work with me. I could be wrong. But I don't think so on this one. I really don't.
Well, we do.
Go ahead. We got 10 seconds.
I was going to say, I know we have to take a break, but there's another thing that I want to run by you with creatives and bosses when we come back on the other side of the break. Interesting words from the immortal one.
Oh, stick around. We'll be back in a minute then.
Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous books, so guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guarantee. Oh, yes.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. We're just chopping it up, talking a little something about this business. And you say you had something that you want. What is it? What is it?
So okay. Let's just roll the clocks back just a little bit. Several weeks ago, we were talking about who killed WCW, right?
Yeah.
You remember the documentary? There's a 4-part documentary that came out on Vice.
Mhm.
$7 Productions was a part of it.
Yeah.
And the Dark Side of the Ring guys. We were talking about it. You were interviewed there. There were several topics that came up. One of them that we spent some considerable time on was Hulk Hogan and his use of the creative control clause in his contract, right?
Mhm.
He said that, this is something that has obviously been talked about a lot, right? In his creative control is being able to utilize it and had the whole quote of "that doesn't work for me, brother," and things like that. You remember all this.
Yeah.
So from our conversations and from conversations of plenty, people have always discussed, hey, man, Hogan changed this finish or changed that finish. We talked extensively about Bash at the Beach 2000. What happened on that night? Okay. So I saw a couple days ago, Hulk Hogan was a guest on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, right? Logan Paul, obviously known for his internet personality, has a great podcast. They have a lot of great people on there. I tune in occasionally. So I saw Hogan was going to be on there. So I was like, oh, okay, let me hear what Hogan has to say. So I'm listening to Hogan. And the topic of creative control comes up to Hogan. And especially when he became the third man with the NWO. So I want to read to you the quote from Hogan, and then we can react to it. This is what he said when he looked back at the moment with the NWO, right? I called Eric Bischoff up and said, who is your third man? And he said, we're going to go with Sting. I said, bro, he's not WWE. Scott and Kev are WWE. Sting has nothing to do with WWE. And I'm WWE head to toe. I'm the third man. And then Eric goes, really? You'll do it? He said, yeah, I'll do it. Eric didn't even believe me I would do it. I flew on a jet to Daytona, hid out in a hotel room. I told Eric, call me when the last match is in the ring before the main event. Eric didn't even think I was coming from the hotel. He still had Sting ready to go. They didn't believe that I would do it. Okay, and here's the part that I really want to focus on. He said, I had creative control. I never used it. I never used creative control the whole time. And I didn't use it in this night either. When I walked out, Scott and Kevin almost crapped. They had no idea I was coming out. It was kind of cool. So Hogan says, I had creative control in WCW. That's true. But I never used it. And I didn't even use it on that night. Now, before you react, let me say this. In the quote, he talks about using creative control because it was going to be Sting, and he told Bischoff it was going to be him. That's creative. Hogan, look, all love to you, the immortal one. Obviously, you did a lot in this industry, but you cannot tell me you didn't have creative control and then tell me a story how you used your creative control. Am I going crazy?
Well,
Am I crazy?
I don't know if I'm dreaming or not, but I know I was in a creative control situation and I won the title. At least I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
But I could be wrong. The way the story has been told here over the last, the year, everybody was in on it, right? Everybody was in on it. And I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I talked to Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff told me he wasn't in on it.
Right.
I don't think Jeff was lying. I don't know. I just do know that, when I talk about it, I'm telling you 100% the truth. I've been. I remember someone that said, as far as when I said I had about 10 minutes to get ready for, winning the title, even though I had said that I knew that I was going to be winning it, that week before or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the pay-per-view, but that night everything changed. So I didn't know if I was going to be winning it or not until I was told, "Look, you going in 10 minutes before." Just to clarify that. So no, everything that I've said about that night, it was the truth. I really, I really hate even, going back there. Other than it was a great night for me. It was a really great night for me. Out of all the shenanigans and everything, that stuff, I feel like still I needed that as part of my story. I really do. I really do. I think I needed that as part of my story to have made my night even that much bigger for me in my mind. Maybe I could be wrong on that, but it definitely is not one of those things that I sit at home and think about on a regular basis. I never think about that night until like we talk about it like right now. Seriously.
Right. And to me, I don't know. Like again, I'm not trying to come down on the Hulkster, but you come on, man. Like you can't say you never used the then why'd you have it?
Well, that's why I say, man, when you're getting older, you might want to get taken out of the game from doing interviews and stuff because you could say certain things that it could be, contradicted. It could be fact checked, stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. Getting old sucks, I'm serious, so I think that's it more than anything with a lot of these older guys going out there doing interviews.
Now, and the other thing is too, somebody could really easily clear this up, and that's Kevin Nash. I just wonder if Kevin knew Hogan was coming to the ring that night.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way I believe that story.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's completely
I'm
made up.
just sitting here. I'm just letting you know right now. There's no way I believe that story. that is as bogus as I could ever, say it's a story. Come on, bro. You know what? Come on. Maybe he's shooting. Maybe maybe
he's working a little bit, working an angle.
Yeah, maybe he's working shoot.
You know what? That's also the ultimate wrestler excuse too. It's like, oh no, brother, I was just working, brother.
Exactly.
I didn't mean that. I was just working.
I'm gonna chalk it up as that. You know what I mean? He just might be working, man. So shoot. Don't blow the man's. Don't blow his cover. Don't blow his cover.
I'm not trying to blow his cover, but come on, man. I don't believe any of that. He also one time said that he didn't know Andre was going to put him over in WrestleMania 3.
Well,
right?
that
I don't believe that either.
It could be some thoughts going into that match like that, whether Andre was really going to do it or not. I could see that.
Hey, that's a question. Did you ever run into Andre? Because he passed in '94.
I met Andre at a show here that they did at the Summit, which is Lakewood Church, and I got a chance to meet him. And I think Barbarian had got my brother and I backstage and whatnot, and I got a chance to put my hand up against Andre the Giant's hand, and his hand was like so much bigger than mine. Man, it was cool. That's the only time I got a chance to meet Andre, with that one time at the Summit. Yeah. due to
Was it kind of otherworldly? Like when you were walking up on him, you're like, oh my gosh, that's Andre the Giant.
it wasn't like that. It was just I knew who it was, and it was I was shocked and in awe, and I've really never been that way about wrestlers or anything like that. But this was Andre the Giant, you know, and this was like the guy, you know what I mean, and to get a chance to meet Andre for me it was otherworldly. I never saw myself meeting Andre the Giant as a kid. And it was an awesome moment. He was. The thing is, you remember when somebody's nice to you.
Right.
That's what I remember about Andre more than anything.
He was a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like, so did y'all have like a little conversation, or was it just like, hey, how are you doing?
It was just a short, brief, thing, and a handshake and whatnot. And I was like, wow, man, look how big his hands is. And I was like, let me see, put my hand up to his, and he, obliged. And it was just one of those moments.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome because again, that's Andre the Giant. That's not. It's
Yeah.
not even another wrestler.
Yeah.
It's an icon, like a pop culture icon.
It's a moment you'll remember for the rest of your life, and that's the one moment, the one time I got a chance to meet Andre the Giant. Yeah.
Wouldn't you be like nervous working somebody like Andre?
Oh man, I wouldn't. It's like Big Show.
It's like Big Show.
Big Show is the same way, man. I mean, you got to give Big Show his props, and I tell you,
Yeah.
man, he was a monster. He really was a true giant in the ring, and just trying to move him around was a work. So for me, I just tried to work around Big Show. I didn't try to move him around at all. You know what I mean? Get up. I'm not going to pick him up. But hey, man, we gotta dip out for a second. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to EarnIn, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Do we still got anything we want to talk about as far as that last issue?
No. But come on, man.
No,
Who you
man.
fooling? You know what I mean?
One thing I always say when you hear wrestlers tell a story, it seems like the stories get bigger and bigger every year. Like going fishing. You catch a big fish, it get bigger and bigger. It was 2 pounds, and then at the end of the story, by the time you get old, it was a 15 pounder. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this though. I mean, just to shoot him some bail, him being the immortal one. Was there ever a time in your career that you walked out of the curtain thinking one thing was either the finish or supposed to happen after the match, and then you were surprised at what ended up occurring? Like it got changed and no one told you, or there was a surprise run-in? Did that ever happen that you can remember at least?
No.
No, never.
In all my years, no, that's never happened.
That's pretty incredible because I'm sure there's been a time or two in the business where something changed during a match,
I'm sure.
or a finish has changed during a match.
Yeah.
Um,
Not a world title though.
not a world title, but I do remember even at reality wrestling one time, somebody in the back, I don't know who it was, had a walkie-talkie, was talking to somebody, and things got changed. I don't know how it happened, but sometimes those things happen. Sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I always think that as the talent, if somebody's running in, or you think you're going over and then something changes, I feel like you would know the plan going out there, right? Like,
Well, I think all the guys who need to know is going to know.
great point.
Let's just say that.
Now, that's another question. Was there ever a time where you would say you knew something was happening, right? Say you were winning the title, and they said, "Hey, Book, you're winning the title. We don't want anybody to know. Keep on low." Is that one of the things where do you have to? I don't know if this is the right way to put it. Do you have to work the locker room in a sense of if you're in the match and they're like, "Hey, Book, so what's going over tonight? Are you going over, or what's going on?"
Yeah, that's never been a question really, from like one of the boys. As far as, and I've won 35 championships, from, WCW television championship, tag team championships, all the way up to, WWE stuff. And that's never been a question, if I was going to win or, I don't know. It's just, for me, I kept my business, and I let other people, do their thing. I never, questioned whatever, how much somebody else was making. I never thought about that. I only thought about what I was making, and so for me, it was always business. I never had, a lot of conversations with the boys because we wasn't friends like that, so I don't know how it is today or anything like that, but there again, only people that knew what was going on a lot of times were the people that needed to know. If something leaked, of course it leaked, but back then we didn't have the internet where stuff leaked as much as it did today. You know what I mean? So no, it's always business.
Always business. It's just curious. I don't know if that is I don't know. I don't know if that's something that is in normal wrestling culture. Do you ask each other what's going on in your match or what the finish is? Or
No. I never talked to anybody about their matches. I never talked to anybody about what they had going on. If they were going for a title match, that's kind of like sacred, man. You know what I mean? It really is. That's like insider stuff. You don't want to be that guy. You might get looked at a certain way. You might get ousted from the business being that guy. And I've seen guys get ousted from the business acting, strange and asking stupid questions. Yeah.
Well, last question on this kind of topic. But what did you enjoy more? Watching the show, not knowing what's going to happen from let's just say a cast member or locker room role as one of the guys on the show back in WCW, WWE. Did you enjoy that more? Or do you enjoy more being at reality wrestling, a creator and seeing what's going on after you've created it, seeing it implemented? Or do you like it from the NXT perspective where you kind of get to be the voice of the story as you're helping it to get to the finish and unfold? Which way do you enjoy the most?
I think I would, if I had one to pick, it'd probably be NXT, just because I got a lot less pressure on me in that job right there. I just got to go out and make the young guys. I got to try to make sure, I'm on point about what I'm talking about. Make sure I accent everything, and that's become relatively easy for me. But running the show is something that is, really, really stressful because everything is on you at the end of the day. You got to be the coach. You got to be mentor. You got to be the villain. It's so much stuff goes into that night right there. It's a headache, So I would probably pick, what I'm doing with NXT, where I don't have to spend any money. They pay me to do it.
Right on. Right. I hear that. Anybody who's ever thrown any kind of event, but especially for us at Reality Wrestling, there's two of my favorite times at Reality Wrestling. Right when I first walk into the building, like I'm excited. I'm like, oh, it's show day, right? And then I don't feel excited again until I'm leaving the building that night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. I'm like that with NXT. I'm not excited until the show starts.
Right.
And then the show start, and I'm excited through the whole show. And then I get to the end, I'm like, oh man, it's but one thing about NXT, that 2 hours go by like so freaking fast. I'll look up at the clock and the first hour will be gone. And it's the first time I've looked up at the clock. And it just seemed like a couple of matches that has gone on. That's how quick it goes, you know. So for me, I love that 2 hours. It's literally like, one of the best 2 hours of my week.
Well, guess what? This is some of the best 2 hours of my week, and I'm sure our super chatters have been looking forward to getting their questions in, so you can make their week, BT. We're gonna go ahead and start getting to them. Our first one comes from Mike Check 5050, who just throws some money.
Mike Check. We appreciate you, dog. We appreciate you,
man. Thank you, brother.
Salute
to you.
You don't mess with my little brothers, man.
Both of them. Richard JR says, will Kofi Kingston be next in line for the NXT championship at NXT Deadline?
Why we demoting Kofi Kingston?
Why would he be in line?
Why we demoting him already? I mean, just because he didn't have any partners to help him out, anything now. He's all on his own. I'll be remiss if we didn't say, Odyssey Jones has been released.
By reports, he's no longer with the company.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Odyssey Jones, and that definitely throws a monkey in the wrench. What Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods was getting ready to pop off. New Day 2.0, whatever we was gonna call it. But yeah, man, I don't know what's next for Kofi Kingston. But one thing I do know about Kofi Kingston, how many years now? He's a vet. He's been what we call a survivor in this business. He's been able to figure it out and to last in the business as long as Kofi has been around, man. He's doing something right. So I don't know, whatever Kofi does, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty soft landing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, real life happens, and let's be clear. There's all kinds of allegations out there and rumors about what's going on with Odyssey Jones and what the reasoning is. I don't think anything's been confirmed as of now that I've read. So I think when it becomes confirmed, obviously we'll speak on that situation. But I think it'd be irresponsible just to throw some out there without having any clear evidence of it. This next one comes from John JID 999. Thoughts on Julia's debut in NXT? She looked good.
She looked great. I mean,
great.
She plays the part very well. Just to walk to the ring tells you a whole lot, man. As far as if we're looking at a star or not, and she's definitely got star appeal. Just making that walk, I was like, man, she looks good. She looked poised, composed. She looks like a star, baby. Oh yeah, now she's stepping in the ring with the Prodigy. But hell of a debut. I want to see exactly how good Julia is in the ring, and she's going to pass the smell test. And she's going to, not be what we call a here today and gone tomorrow. A flash in the pan, a fly by night, all of that stuff. So, and the thing is, we're going to find out very, very quickly, very, very quickly, because she's in the ring with none other than truly one of the best out there right now. And I know I keep giving Roxanne props. I said I wasn't going to give her any more props.
No more. No more.
Since you brought it up, Julia is going to be exposed. Hey, man, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
That's a true story. That's not allegedly.
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar in Boston? Somewhere.
I can't remember where it was.
And Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And he and Knobs What happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in the bar. And the thing is, they probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played Django. Oh, that was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
Well, they both look kind of alike.
No, they don't.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Oh, man, that's
It never
funny,
gets
man.
old. It never gets old.
Let's keep it rolling, man.
Oh, that never gets old. Let's go to our next one. Our next one comes from Callie Toenail.
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Callie Toenail says, not sure who Julia is, but when she walked out on Roxanne, I saw a look in the prodigy's eyes I've never seen before. What do you think she was thinking?
It's a highlight moment. That's what it is. To get a chance to work with, one of Japan's finest, somebody who has made a name, across the pond, someone that I feel like going to give me like the best, competition I could probably have right now at this time in my career, a chance to go out here and really, really, show how good I really am, because those are the moments you look for. Those are the moments you want as a professional wrestler. I always say, me not being able to, just get in the ring just one time with Shawn Michaels, man, I really feel like I feel like I missed out on something. I really do. I really, really do. I wanted to face him so badly in one-on-one competition, just because I always wanted to see how good I really was. Because I said, man, I know I'm good. I know I'm good, but I got to test this guy right here, because I think he's the best. And I think those are the moments you look for, and I think that's what it was. I think more than anything, Roxanne Perez waiting and anticipating this next journey, baby.
Okay, this might be an unanswerable question for you, but you said sometimes you wanted to test yourself against Shawn to see how good you really were. Okay, you had the opportunity to lock horns with three of the all-time in-ring greats, in my opinion, in WCW. It was Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Which one of those matches were you most looking forward to testing yourself, to seeing how good you were? Was it Ricky, was it Rick, or was it Macho?
Those are three different matches. You know what I mean? When I worked with Steamboat, I was such a fan of Steamboat, and then to find myself working with Steamboat in Germany, 20 minutes, and I was in awe. So I was like a student that night. I was like his pupil. I was like, man, I couldn't believe I was. So I was a great listener that night. I was just talking about that earlier. I was a great follower. When he gave me the keys, I need to know when I was driving. He didn't have to tell me what route to take. He just needed to give me the keys. And when he did, man, I took them. I was trying to pass that test of being in the ring with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I wanted him to give me that stamp of approval after the match and say, kid, you're going to be pretty good. That's what I was looking for. When I worked with Ric Flair, it was one of those nights on WCW Saturday night, center stage. I remember it vividly. And it was one of those things where he wanted to test me. He wanted to see how good this kid was. Everybody's talking about him. Let's see how good he really is. So I was like a fly on the wall that night, watching myself work. I mean, because I was totally not in control. Ric Flair was in total control of that match, and I was following. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out the way of Ric Flair, because everything's called right there in the middle of the ring, and you got to be able to listen, walk, and talk at the same time. So it was that moment. And then when I worked with Savage, I was more confident at that time. I had been, moved up the food chain by that time. So when I worked with Savage, I was like, let me show this guy that I'm not scared of him. So he got the big shove, no respect, just like everybody else that came along in my career. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But I mean, and to me, you're right. Those are three completely different matches at three different stages in your career. But still, kind of crazy. You could say we talked about this a long time ago. It's like, who haven't you wrestled? Everyone from Ric Flair to AJ Styles, right? Like everybody, Cody Rhodes, Ric Flair to Cody Rhodes, even more so.
Yeah.
One of the NWA World Heavyweight Champion all the way to the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
But those three matches, I'm sure, always kind of stick out in your head. They're like, wow, did I really rep?
Yeah, those are great times, man. Like I say, to find myself being one of the young guys, and I was being tested back then. That's what that was. I always tell the young guys today, always know that you're being tested. Every time you get in the ring, you got to know what the test is in order to pass it. With Steamboat, I knew exactly what the test was. With Ric Flair, I knew exactly what the test was. With Mach, man, I was ready to pass the test with him as well. So, and even get more respect from as a worker, as a co-worker. So man, being in those positions are great. Just like Roxanne Perez is getting ready to prove that she belongs in that position because she's always understanding that everything is a test.
Oh man, well, we got a couple more super chats here before we wrap things up for the day. This one comes from Alex Cosentino, who says, would you be against WWE bringing back the television title?
I wouldn't be against it. Brad would.
I wouldn't like it. Yeah.
Brad wouldn't like that. But for me, I wouldn't be against it or anything like that, because the television championship meant, you was the guy that was representing the television every week, as far as you had to go out and perform every week on television and defend that championship. It gave a total different feel to the guy holding that championship. He had to be battle tested, holding that championship, and that's what I loved about the television championship more than anything.
Well, see, and this is the part where I would agree. If you were to say, because to me, take the Intercontinental title, take the United States Championship. What's the difference? There isn't one, right?
That's no difference, really.
But back in WCW, you take the television championship, you take the United States Championship. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. That the difference was what you just said. That television championship, you were expected to defend on television every single week.
What the thing is, everybody didn't do that.
Well, you did that.
I made that bold statement, and that's what I feel like the television champion should do: go out and defend the championship on a weekly basis on TV. So I made that rule, that golden rule.
Well, and then you tried to do that again with the heavyweight title, and you were like, "What the hell was I thinking?" Worked once. The second time, not too great.
What the hell was I thinking?
And our last one comes from Alex Cosentino, says, who's going to be the eventual culprit of who killed AEW? Come on, man. Alex, you're fishing for a headline from us, man.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't put us in that position right there.
But to answer your question, Tony Khan, no. I don't know. I hope we don't get to that question ever.
Well, the question is going to always be the same. I think when a company goes under, it goes.
I'm saying I hope it.
It goes back to the guys who's running it. I said that about WCW, and I think that has a lot to do with it, because that's the guy that's making a lot of, not a lot, all the main decisions, signing guys to big money contracts, and that part right there, I have no no ill will towards that. As far as signing guys to big contracts, because I've said it once, I said it 1,000 times. If it's a guy out there that's handing out checks, guys need to go and pick it up, because they're not hiring guys paying 6-7 figures out there in the regular world. So get that money if you can. That's just part of this thing, but that's not going to make the company better. It's not going to make the company better. If anybody's in charge of the company going down and going under and not making money, it's the guy that's running the company. And I say that because of reality of wrestling. If reality of wrestling is not thriving and we're not moving up, It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm not doing something right, and I need to pull the plug. That's what I would be thinking.
It's true. I think that, yeah, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It always goes back. You can say, well, I mean, even going to the WCW thing, you can say, well, Hogan had this, or Russo had this creative decision, or whomever it might be, right? But to me, who's ever the boss who's making the final call, that's who it falls back on.
The boss who gave them that power and that authority to have that, that's who you blame.
Mhm. How could you blame anybody else?
Well, if it took that to get this person in, and you feel like that was the risk you had to take, who do you blame? You took
Right.
the risk. That's just me. I could be, look here. That's just me. That's
Just
just
the
me.
way it goes.
Just the way they old mouth flop. But hey, look here, man. We've had a great show today. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. All the super chatters, man. We appreciate you. All the listeners. Hey, I want to thank everybody also for getting our Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel up to 790,000 subscribers. We're on our way to 800. So, guys, keep subscribing. Keep pushing us to that next level. We couldn't do it without you guys. It's all about the people here at the Hall of Fame. Hey, man, until next time, Bradley, for all the heavy lifting, peace. We love you. We out.